Hey, has this happened to you? Not sure what to post on Instagram anymore or running out of ideas? Well, rest easy because I'm here to help you. By the time you finish watching this video, you will never have this problem again. I'm going to teach you the 15 different types of photos you can post on Instagram. This is the foundation. From these 15 types of photos, the variations you can create are endless. Learn my tips and you'll be an Instagram pro in no time. One of the most challenging things that I've heard people say when it comes to Instagram is that they don't know what types of photos to post, so they end up posting like 20 selfies in a row, which is completely fine. Self-love is great. But if you're trying to build a strong Instagram theme, 20 consecutive photos of the same exact subject of any subject is not really conducive for a cohesive, strong, aesthetic Instagram feed. So in this video, I'm going to give you the tools that you need to build out a well-balanced Instagram page. And we're gonna start off with 15 different types of photos you can post on Instagram. And in next week's video, I will go into detailed, step-by-step tutorials of how I edit my photos, how to build an aesthetic Instagram feed. Keep in mind, this is not an exhaustive list. It's just a foundation for you to build upon. I'm gonna break down the different types of photos into categories. So let's get into the first category, which is full body photos. This type of photo is great if you wanna show off your outfit or if you wanna show off anything from head to toe. Now within this category, there are 4 different types of photos you could be posting to mix it up a bit. The first is a natural walking shot. So you're literally going from point A to point B. So you could be saying hi to a friend, you could see someone you know. A lot of things can happen from point A to point B, and this type of photo will capture all of those fun little moments. So one general tip that I have for you when taking these types of photos is try to pretend that the camera's not even there, because sometimes when we're aware that the camera's there, we tend to stiffen up a bit, and that doesn't really produce a flattering photo because you just look stiff and tense. So try to pretend that the camera's not even there when you're taking your natural walking shot. The second type of photo that you could be posting for full body is a pose shot. You could pull inspiration from an animal that you saw at the zoo to like your favorite model in the fashion magazine. It could be literally anything. But I will say that it takes some practice to get this down, so make sure you know what you're doing if you're gonna be doing a posing shot. Otherwise it could just look crazy, but that could be fun too. Third type of thing that you could do is a candid shot. The camera captures that candid moment, so it's not as stiff as a pose shot, but it's also not a walking shot, so it's somewhere in between. So that's really great for that because you're in a stationary place and you can kind of control the elements a little bit better. And the fourth type of full body photo that you could be posting is one where you don't even have to do your hair, when you could look crazy and it's gonna work out great. And the photo that I'm talking about is one with artistic cropping. So if you're not feeling like being on camera that day, or if you're having a bad hair day, you could always post photos that are creatively cropped from the neck down, from the mouth down, to really focus on the actual outfit. And not only that, but if these photos are done right, they can come across as very artsy as well, which I really like. In the same vein of a creative crop, you could also turn away from the camera. You don't always have to face the camera. It's great for catching the back details of your outfit, and also it creates kind of a moody atmosphere. So even if your whole Instagram is strictly outfit based or strictly fitness based or whatever it is that you're trying to show, you can mix it up a bit. All right, now the second type of photo that you could be posting is the POV shot. POV is point of view. So let's say you're at the beach and the beach is looking beautiful, there's a sunset. You could always take a landscape picture of the beach, right? But it doesn't really give the feeling of a point of view unless you kind of make it a little bit more dynamic and include yourself in there somehow. So why not hold up the peace sign? You could show off your bracelet, your rings, or you could hold a cup of coffee or juice or whatever it is that you want to hold in your hand with the landscape shot, and that makes it a little bit more dynamic, and that would be your point of view so that your audience can see what you're seeing and kind of feel like they're there as well. And I'm sure that you guys have seen those photos where the girl is holding the guy's hand and she's taking him to like some exotic location. That is a perfect example of a great POV type of shot. Another type of POV shot that you could do is more outfit based. And that is one where you're standing and you're pointing the camera down at your feet. You could do that with your smartphone. And it's great if you want to show your shoes, your pants, you could even show your wrist in there, you show off your watch or some object that you're holding. And a tip I have for those kind of pictures is that you want to bend over slightly so that you can get all the things in the shot. So that is the second type of POV shot that you could be doing. The third type of POV shot that you could be doing is one where the photographer is standing behind you over the shoulder and they catch a bit of your shoulder, part of your back of your neck and then your head, and as you're looking out into the great horizon. That kind of gives the same feeling of the person, your audience, being there with you, and it makes the picture a little bit more dynamic. We're only in the second category. We've talked about full body outfits, we talked about POV shots, and you already have 8 different types of photos that you could be posting. And within those 8 types of photos, there's like hundreds of different types of combinations. The possibilities are endless. Isn't this exciting, guys? All right, now let's talk about the third category, which is gonna be a favorite for a lot of people, the selfie. Just because it's a selfie doesn't mean it always has to be you with the smartphone, the front-facing camera facing you, and you smiling or doing whatever. You have a lot of different types of selfies that you could post. The first type is obviously the one that I just said, where you're holding the smartphone and you're taking a photo of yourself. The second type of selfie that you could be posting is a candid selfie. So that's where you're holding the camera, but instead of doing the generic, looking at the camera and smiling, you could just be snapping away as you're talking to your friend, as you're enjoying your latte, as you're doing whatever, and it'll catch all of the candid fun moments, which sometimes produce a much better photo than, sitting there and trying to get the perfect shot. And that is a type of selfie that is still self-indulgent, but not one where you're directing all the attention on yourself. You're kind of sharing it with the emotion of the moment, which is great. Remember the POV shots that I told you guys about earlier? You could take your own POV shot, hold the smartphone behind you, and take a picture of yourself, but also the landscape in front of you. So it's still a selfie, but it's one that is redirecting the attention from only on yourself to whatever it is that you're looking at. Because let's face it, not everyone is comfortable, taking a selfie. And this is a very self-aware thing to say, but it's a very egotistical, self-absorbed thing to do, right? And so it's kind of like, not everyone is comfortable taking a selfie, but why not take the attention off of you and still have yourself in the photo, but you could have, the beautiful beach in the picture or the mountains or whatever it is that you want to show. So even if your Instagram is only selfies, that alone, you could be mixing up all the different types of selfies within that category alone. So the next category of photos that you could be posting are the ambiance photos. And within this category, there are so many different ways that you could take different pictures, but here are two different ways. The first is, with the ambiance, you want to capture the moment and the mood, right? So this would be the type of ambiance shot where there's people in the mix. And these are great for like coffee shops or restaurants, so you can get the feeling, the energy of the restaurant, of the coffee shop. And I know that sometimes people don't want to get pictures of people walking across in the shot, or they're trying to get a clean shot. But sometimes it's great to have the people in the picture because it really gives the raw energy and feeling of that photo. It really conveys the moment really well when you have other people in the picture that are kind of sharing and enjoying the environment with you. And the next type of ambiance shot that you can take is one where there's literally no people in it, and it's really letting the environment of the place speak for itself. And that is also a very powerful, interesting type of picture where you're letting the viewer interpret the picture for how they perceive that environment, and that is also a great type of photo to post. The next category of photos is very popular amongst lifestyle bloggers, food bloggers, and that is the on the table or flat lay shot. There are a lot of different types of pictures within this category, but the two main ones are the overhead shot, and these are great for, if you have a bunch of different dishes on the table, drinks, because it allows you to capture a lot of different things in a small space, which is why they're so popular for taking pictures of food, for coffee, and whatnot. And even for flat lays, like let's say you have 5 different magazines and you have like a bottle of cologne and you have some rings and some green plants or whatever that you want to show, the overhead shot would be great for capturing all of that into one picture. The other type of photo that you could take that is relative to things on the table is to take the picture at eye level. The great thing about this is that it allows you to see all of the different textures and layers, but the drawback is you won't be able to get as much content into the actual picture because you're taking it at an angle, and it might obstruct the view of the other things that you have on the table. Even within that category of on the table shots, you have a lot of different ways to take pictures, and you can either take it as an overhead shot or as an eye level shot. Both of them have the pros and the cons, and it's up to you as the creator to decide which type of photo that you can take. But the great thing about that, the beauty about that, is that know that you have a lot of different types of photos that you could post. So those are 15 different types of photos that you could post on Instagram. So there's no reason to say, I don't know what to post on Instagram, because there's actually a lot of great things that you can post. And next week, I'm going to give you guys my top tips about how to have an aesthetic feed, how to edit pictures. All right, guys, that was this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned a few new tips that you can use on your Instagram. Please give this video a like and a comment. And if you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss all the other great tutorials and tips that I have for you, along with the other great content on this channel. I'll see you guys soon. Have a great day. Thank you so much for joining with me. Make sure you don't forget to check out last week's video right here. Today I want to share with you my 9 back-to-school style tips and ideas. These are in no particular order. Let's get right into it. Earth tone boots. Earth tones are extremely versatile because they're complementary for pretty much every skin tone, and they go really well with most denim. Linen shirts. Compared to cotton, linen is a more robust